We've got a game we like to play here called Celebrity True or False. So we ask you things from your career. You tell if it's true or not.
Okay.
I think you've kind of already revealed that. And we've got some great production value to start it off. Hit it, please.
Celebrity True or False?
You can't handle the truth.
That's our production value. That's it. And you, as the producer of Wanted Man, you no doubt appreciate production value.
Of course.
Okay, thank you. All right, here we go, Dolph Lundgren. First one up, you kind of just alluded to it, so I guess this is true, although I don't know if the aspect about it. True or false, you left MIT after just 2 weeks to pursue an acting career.
That's correct, yes.
You were on campus at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology for just 2 weeks.
Yes, I'd already been in New York for 6 months. I was going out with a lady named Grace Jones in those days. I was hanging out at 54 and with Warhol and the rest of them, and then I started studying acting and decided that test tubes weren't that exciting anymore. I wanted to, go into show business.
So you're like, screw this test tubes business. I'm hanging out with Andy. What is it like hanging out with Andy Warhol at Studio 54? Dolph Lundgren.
It was pretty kind of mind blowing for a young Swedish kid at the time. I was about 25 at the time, and
right.
It was a different era of no cell phones, and people had a different feeling of privacy, I think, in those places than now. So a lot of big celebrities were there. If it was Mick Jagger or David Bowie, whoever, you could see a lot of people there in person.
So what do you have a conversation with Andy Warhol about? What is that like? Hey, where are you from, Andy? Or like what?
No, the first time I met him, I was actually roaming around this club, and I never drank or anything. I was just training in those days, and some little guy comes up to me and goes, "What are you famous for?" And I'm like, "Nothing, as far as I know." And then he puts up he has a little Instamatic camera, takes a picture of me and says, "I'm going to put you in my magazine." And it was Andy Warhol. Somebody told me, "Yeah, that's him."
Are you serious?
No, I'm serious.
Just going to put you in my magazine.
Yeah, and then I ended up in Interview Magazine, and that was around the time I was auditioning for Rocky IV, and then I got to meet Sly and all of that. So it was a big change in my life, and in about a year or two, it changed, 180 like that.
Wow. Yeah, to hell with MIT.
Actually, I was at LAX a number of years ago checking in, and I was going through the security with an agent. I think somebody was helping me through, and this guy ahead of me went, he says, "Are you Dolph Lundgren?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Well, I'm Professor so-and-so. I'm the one who approved your application to MIT." And he says, "I guess you did okay without it." And I said, "Yeah, I'm sorry I quit, but..."
Wow. What did you think you wanted to be when you went to MIT?
Well, I was going to get a PhD in chemical engineering. I had a master's, and then I was going to go to business school and try to run Exxon or something,
Jeez.
I mean, the rest of these questions after this, but hold on a minute. Here we go. True or false? You were the team leader for the U.S. modern pentathlon team at the '96 Summer Olympics.
That's true, yeah.
How'd you get involved with that?
I did a movie called Pentathlon, and two of the guys who trained me were Olympic athletes on the U.S. team. And then pentathlon was a sport that they were going to eject from the games, because every Olympic Games they try on two new sports, and they get away, eject two old sports, and they were going to get rid of pentathlon. So they wanted me to help kind of help boost the image of pentathlon. So I did this film about it, and then they wanted me to be team leader at '96, and I was. Team leader is like the guy who sets up the training, who arranges the travel, and kind of manager and training schedule and stuff like that. And it was interesting because, Ali was the guy who lit the torch. And
Were you there that night?
Yeah, I was there that night in the stadium. And
did you tell him you would break him?
No, but he did throw a couple of jabs my way when I ran into him in the elevator.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Tell me there's a photograph of Muhammad Ali and Ivan Drago. Is there a photograph of that somewhere?
He was always... he was a funny guy, He was a little bit. He had Alzheimer's at that time too, but he was still sharp. Like he still recognized me and realized I was from that movie, and so he started doing a little shadow boxing.
Oh my God. So Warhol wasn't there to take that picture, is what you're saying?
No, he
Okay.
wasn't there to defend me.
So then let's go back to the day then. Third one for you. I got 5 of them. Dolph Lundgren, celebrity, true or false? It's true, I imagine, then, that you pulled a gun on Grace Jones in A View to Kill.
Yes, I did.
You did?
On Chris Walken.
Oh, you pulled a gun on Chris Walken?
Was it her on Chris Walken? No, it was on her. You're right.
Okay.
On her, yeah. Yeah, he was in the background.
What was it like doing a scene with Christopher Walken?
It was interesting. You know, I just started acting, and
You were a Russian bodyguard.
I was a Russian bodyguard. Somebody got sick, and I just stepped in and took
Are you
that
serious?
role. Yeah, the director said, "You want to be in the movie?" And I'm like, I don't know if I can do it. So yeah, just get over here, put the suit on, pull the gun, pointed at Grace, or was it at Chris? No, it was at Grace, pointed at Grace. But it was interesting because, you know, Chris Walken was doing a scene with this British actor who plays the Russian KGB guy.
Yeah.
Yes, he's always the same guy, you know, plays the Russian henchman. Anyway, so I watched them rehearse, and then when on take one, you know, Chris Walken goes, he does it completely differently. Like, instead of being very soft, he yells, and then the guy jumps back like a foot. He just jumps, and they got it on camera, and I realized, wow, it was really clever. He did that. He switched it up on the guy. So I think that's the scene that's in the movie. And he was a great guy, you know, interesting.
So that's how you got your credit from A View to a Kill? Is that somebody got sick? You're like, you know, you look like a bodyguard. Get in there, and then you got on camera. You pulled a gun on Grace Jones.
Yeah, I did.
Who was your girlfriend at the time, right?
Yes, but
oh my gosh, all right.
I was. Yeah, in the credits, you have to wait about 3 minutes when I appear at the bottom.
Yeah, Roger Moore is first, I think.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah.
Did you meet him?
Yes, he always smoked cigars, and he always sat back and goes, "Dolph is larger than Denmark." For some reason, I don't know where he got it from, but what a quote.
That's what he would say?
Yeah, that's what he said. I always remember that. It was out of nowhere.
Well, I think he's accurate. True or false? You got your role in Rocky IV by sending photos and videos of yourself to someone who knew Sly Stallone.
I gave a 8x10 to this guy who was a friend of Sly, and they took me about 6 months for them to. For him to get the pictures, for Sly somebody to contact me when I was back in Europe, and then they flew me into LA, and I met him here when he was doing Rambo 2. So he had long hair, he was tanned, and I was starstruck, and then, you know, I had to audition for the role for about another 6 months or so.
And that's how you got the gig.
Yeah.
What do you think of when you see a photo of yourself as Drago back in the day, man, right now?
Well, it brings back memories of all the training we did, you know. Remember, this is back in the day when everything had to be in camera. There were no special effects. No visual effects.
Right.
And there were no doubles because we're in the ring with no shirt on, both of us. So you had to have the six-pack, and everything was real, you know, and there were no doubles or anything like that. And if you wanted blood to fly out of your mouth, you had to get punched and get it to fly out of your mouth. So I was always impressed Sly was in such good shape because I was a European, you know, karate heavyweight champion.
Well, you're bigger than Denmark.
And I'm bigger than Denmark. But he's about the size of Italy, so he kept up in those days.
And Dolph, is it true you put Sly in the hospital during the filming?
He ended up in the hospital. I don't know if it was me or if
hold on a second.
overworked.
Was it? Did you connect with him? Is that what happened?
Well, we did connect a little bit, both of us, to the body mostly, and I think that's where he apparently got hurt. His heart had went through some shock or something from.
Damn.
Yeah, but he hit me a lot too. But you know, I only did what I was told to do. He was the boss, and I was.
He said, "Hit me." Is that what he said? Hit me.
Yeah, go ahead, hit me. Yeah.
Sure, you regret that.
Yeah, we did that, and also to the those head shots when your face goes in slow motion. Those have to line those up in those days with 120 frames a second. And just stiff arm it with the blood flying, and then take an aspirin and go home that day.
Take an aspirin. And the last one, is it true you had only 9 speaking lines in that movie?
No, I don't know. 9 speaking lines. Maybe you're right. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Is that what we found out?
I think that's what we've seen.
9.
Half in English, half in Russian?
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe you're right. Yeah.
Or 4?
Yeah, something like that. I think there was probably more in the original, and they cut the character down a little bit to make him even more mysterious, which I think it works. On film, sometimes if you don't say anything,
I guess
there's a better choice.
Here's a bonus one. Is it also true or false that you had your eye on the Running Man role that went to Arnold?
I think I was. Yeah, I think somebody sent me the script, but Arnold, of course, was a bigger star in those days, and he wanted to do it, and he did a good job. So And by the way, I met Arnold.
Yes.
With Grace when he did Conan 2, and I was a fighter at the time when I first met him. So we were friends back then, even.
Yeah, he came here in studio in December.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
okay.
And he looked at this chair that you're currently sitting in, called it a baby chair.
A baby chair.
He's not going to sit in a baby
For
chair.
girly men,
and
yes.
he literally went to Chris's seat and he took that and removed this chair and moved that over here and sat in that chair.
What a character. No, he's a character.
He is that.
Yeah.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.